The maxim that a picture is worth 1,000 words will be tested tomorrow, Tuesday, when the majority in the National Assembly convened for a parliamentary group meeting at State House. It was at the same venue today that President Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto cut cordial figures despite backroom machinations that have shown that the two are on opposing sides. Now, tomorrow's event will reveal whether the laughs shared between the two today was simply the product of good breeding or a sign that the two remain committed to each other.
All eyes. But for the political animal, all eyes were on Deputy President William Ruto and his foray to the House on the Hill since his perceived falling out with the man who's made it his mission in the last few weeks to clear up any doubt on who
Karibu utuongoze kwenye sherehe za mwaka huu za madaraka
is in charge. And while the now obligatory mask made it difficult to decipher facial expressions, any suspicion that the beleaguered deputy president may find himself a man isolated as though one suffering from the dreaded COVID-19 were quickly put to rest. The deputy president ushered in and seated as protocol would dictate by the head of state's side. And as one would expect of a good host, President Kenyatta bridged the gap, the president having demonstrated a penchant for passing notes. A private joke that soon had them sharing a chuckle. At the far end of the enclosure sat the man accused of having come between them. On this occasion, only the chair of the Council of Governors, the deputy president and the president were accorded an opportunity to speak. The deputy president making quick work of telling the president what a shining light he's been in leading the government's response to the coronavirus.
The COVID-19 pandemic has made everybody realize our inadequacy and what God can do. Your Excellency, this is your day. The nation is waiting because we are in a very peculiar place.
Peculiar is right because while at previous national celebrations, his pointmen in the Senate had occupied a prominent place, their place was now taken by nominees of his greatest challenger in the Rift Valley, and his hold on the National Assembly may very well be severed by this time tomorrow, with a parliamentary group meeting scheduled.
We need political leaders totally committed to promoting not themselves, but what will transform lives of our people in line with what our founding fathers yearned for. Indeed, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, and I quote, "We need political leaders not in love with money, but in love with justice. Not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity." End of quote.
But when the president spoke of the Jubilee government's perceived success, the deputy president gave it his hearty applause. And again, in typical fashion, when the president made a break for it as soon as the formalities were dispensed with, the deputy president remained a step behind him as he went through his paces, taking the time to recognize all who graced the occasion with a namaskar. Things got a bit awkward when it was time to retire to the president's official residence. The deputy president taking his cues from the president, who appeared to be waiting for something, before engaging his deputy with sweeping hand gestures. Eventually, he let him in. But as they say, a day in politics is a very long time. And at the break of dawn, all sides may have retreated to their respective sides of the ring. Olive Barrows, NTV.